Rogers TV. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of At the Heart of Business. I'm your host, Judith Tate. At the Heart of Business is a conversation with women in business discussing their challenges and successes. My first guest today is Rena Winston from the Unraveling Clinic. And Rena, you are you do psychotherapy, coaching, and consulting.
Yes.
So welcome.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here today. I'm also just really looking forward to having conversations that anyone can take any tidbits from. I always take tidbits from your show.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Good. Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, so tell us about your work at the Unraveling Clinic.
Yes, and so I do coaching, and I'm a money and business coach specifically, and I specialize in working with high performers who want to rebuild the relationship with money, success, visibility. I don't know if you can relate at all, but people who really have the internal engines revved up, they look amazing, and they're doing so many big things on the outside, and there's so many costs going on the inside, and reconciling the two of how you're feeling on the inside as a high performer versus what you're presenting is essentially the work I do. So it's that alignment, aligned income, and aligned life.
Wow. Okay, there's so much that I want to explore there. But first of all, tell us why you do what you do.
Ooh, why? Because for the first half of my life, I lived a pretty normal, what I would call privileged life. My two married parents and, regular house in the suburbs. And then my father died by suicide at the age of 18. And after that, I experienced life in a way that I feel like I was very sheltered from before. It became more apparent to me the lack of resources that I had, the lack of financial literacy and opportunities to network. And there's a lot that happens at the time where you're just trying to become an adult that you're learning that you kind of need from both of your parents. So it was a time where for the first time, I really felt like I have to get up and do something for myself. And that was learning about financial literacy, literally, so that I wouldn't have student debt and so I could pay for our wedding. That was what brought us into this.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. So going back to, that traumatic time in your life, how would you say that shaped the path that it took you on or how it brought you to where you are today?
Okay. Well, I would say the two fundamental parts of my business, the coaching in money and business, it came from the hardship after my dad's passing of realizing no one was going to come rescue me and pay for my education. No one was going to come rescue me and introduce me to their friend who owns a company so I can go get my first job. So in many ways, I became marginalized in aspects that I wasn't before. And when he had passed at that time, that was actually when I decided I wanted to become a police officer. So I went to school, started policing and all of that because of around the time that was when I started having exposure to policing and the different aspects that bring people to crime and bring people to unfortunate life circumstances is when I started to go deeper. It's like the inner, what brought the person to that place. And that's what I thought I would get necessarily from policing, but of course I'm getting that now from coaching. But the curiosity about what's going on inside started at that point. Because even if it was a feeling that I had, that there was many contributing factors to how my dad would have been feeling at that time, the depth in which I would have considered that or thought about it was very minuscule in comparison to now, where I can think about all of the contributing factors, neurodivergence, like his ADHD, or his experiences in the workplace, which reflect being neurodiverse. And, in a time that didn't really understand or know what to do with someone like him, there are so many different, There's so many different colorful life experiences that come together to make someone someone.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, no matter what knowledge you have and what you've learned in school on that side, there are a whole other side of factors that contribute to your relationship with money and success that for many people, the more colorful your life experiences have been, the more fractured your relationship is likely to be with each of those aspects of relationship with money. Like visibility, for example, your comfort with being seen.
Yeah. Yes, that impacts a lot of people, and they don't even realize. It's like you want to sell your services, but you don't want anyone to see you.
That's exactly it. That's where it's the inner block. It's not the outer. I find that what I say is how I'm different is other money and business coaches are focusing on outer blocks. And actually, that's what my first business, The Budget Doctor, did. I focused on outer blocks. People would come with debt, questions about debt repayment, questions about their credit score, all of the very tangible of this world things. And creating budgets and spreadsheets. And those are all tools and which are wonderful. But if the block is inner, which for most of us it is, of avoiding something, so you're impulsively spending, or if you're brought up in a family that really likes to look classy, you might find yourself programmed to be obsessed with money status and how you look and keeping up with the Joneses. And so without understanding all of the parts of your identity that brought you to even spend this way, you can't really change anything. And it's the same thing with business. Like if you don't want to be visible, you can do as much work as you want to behind the scenes, but someone will always be there to take the credit who doesn't mind being visible.
That's true. That's very, I like that. I like that perspective. That's very true.
Yes.
So, okay, so earlier you mentioned working with high performers.
Yes.
What does that look like exactly? Or first of all, how do you know if you're a high performer or not?
That's a great question. And for me, I find that people, okay, let me back up. I remember reading a study, and it's a common study that's very Googleable, that says there's a specific amount of trauma and dysfunction that someone would have gone through in their life that is equated with a certain level of success.
Okay.
So the two correlate because the skills that you gain or the problems you have to overcome. When you have a certain amount, not a debilitating amount, but when you have a certain amount, it leads you to become kind of high functioning or high performing. For example, if you're in a family that's a little bit dysfunctional and you are the person who has grown to be the responsible one in the family, everybody's calling you, you're the one with all of the resources, you have grown to be that way because of your family environment. But the output of your success is probably being high performing because you're going to translate that into your career. So when I say I work on the inside, it really goes really deep. And I would say high performers look like people who are achieving incredible things. But for themselves, they know that there's a cost to how they're living, whether it's in their structure, their routines, the other aspects of money success, which would be your ability to have direction for your life. You need quiet time for that. And a lot of my clients, they work with me to create that time because it's always being on the go, always running towards accomplishments. And the more I start talking about it, the more either you're nodding your head like, ooh, that could be me, or you're saying, no, that might not be me, but that might be somebody I know. I can think of someone like that who I feel is really responsible and does everything really well. And I'll tell you, it's those exact folks that sometimes are struggling the most with their nervous system, with putting themselves out there, with not feeling like an imposter, and all of the different sort of invisible parts, because it's inside. It's like the spiritual root of what's really going on in your life.
Yeah.
You can have every strategy in the world, but if you don't understand yourself and you don't have those core skills of just even having a good morning routine, for example, we underestimate that. Do you know how many times I work with people and I'm like, what'd you eat today? And if the reaction is a laugh or a giggle, like I already know either they didn't eat or it was something not healthy or something grabbed on the go.
Yeah.
We don't think about these things or how they'll make us plateau or not actually be able to attain what we want to attain because we're balancing so much. Maybe we're not as boundaried as we should be. Maybe there's aspects of people pleasing. And I find that aligning folks with the different behaviors of success and having people think about their lives from a different perspective, like a values aligned perspective. What are the rules that the unofficial rules that they live by at that time, to actually consciously consider it. Whose rules are you following? And if you're not conscious, you're probably following someone else's rules pretty closely. And so we're raising the level of awareness. We're really introducing the idea of the power of choice and what our choices are in any given situation, so that we can choose. If you know that going to that place is making you feel that way and it's taking away from your ability to serve your clients and you're doing minimum on this side, you know, how would you expect to be able to give more time to your clients and dial down on your business if every time you have time, you're running to this place, for example. So that person could have every strategy and know completely what to do, but the one thing that's keeping them from being able to implement it is that they can't sit down for long enough to actually think about it and do the planning, or they can't even see that it's the overgiving and overcommitting and all of these different areas that are keeping them from moving forward. So we have a ball.
Oh my goodness, wow. And it's so important to have people like you, like doing the work that you do, to really pull that out and help people to see themselves. So how do you work with, because you mentioned like neurodivergent clients. What does that look like working with clients who are neurodivergent? And as we had a conversation where it's like, that's more of a newer term for me. So tell me about that.
Okay. Neurodiverse meaning, in the most simplest terms, our brains are wired different. If you've ever gone through life feeling like you live a little inside out or something, things are different in your head than you're seeing outside and you're feeling like you're making sense and other people aren't, and you know, your ability to focus might be very difficult. Maybe it's ADHD, maybe it's dyslexia, maybe it's autism on different sides of the spectrum. Maybe it's being a highly sensitive person or an empath, as they would call it. These are all different forms of neurodivergence and people who are wired differently. And in being wired differently, I don't know if you can relate to an experience of feeling a little bit like an outsider anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay. So if you are neurodiverse in any way, you definitely have had that experience. And if you don't know about the ways in which your brain is wired differently, then it's going to be very difficult for you to tap into what's important to you, what your purpose is, what your superpower is, how you can make money, because life has been kicking you down for so long. And so it's an empowerment process and an education process, a self-compassion process, and figuring out what's good for you in money and business.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Rena.
Thank you.
This has been a wonderful conversation. I know we could talk for like a whole day. So thank you. It was great to have you on the show. And stay tuned. We'll be chatting with Sylvia Caleri next.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Hello and welcome back to At the Heart of Business. I'm your host, Judith Tate. At the Heart of Business is a conversation with women in business discussing their challenges and successes. My next guest today is Sylvia Calleri, and you are the owner of Authentically Evolving.
Yes, thank you, Judith, for having me on the show. Truly appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk about a few things that you have coming up, and but first we'll talk about Authentically Evolving. What is this business about?
Well, in 2020, with the pandemic started and all, I had retired from my 32-year career in corporate.
Wow.
And, there was a lot of rumbling happening inside. I was feeling very uneasy. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, but knew that something was coming. So I dived deep into personal development starting in, let's say, 2007. And, it was always something that was inside of me. Mm-hmm. And I decided to become a certified life mastery coach.
Nice.
And I studied with the Brave Thinking Institute, who is started by Mary Morrissey from The Secret.
Okay.
And it was a great journey of self-discovery, and helped me really find myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So then this is when I wanted to start something to share what I had learned.
Yeah.
And I wanted a name that really represented who I was.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be authentic in everything I do. And I feel that as we experience new things each day, we evolve and we grow and we learn. So Authentically Evolving was born.
Oh, okay. So what is you kind of gave me an overview of why you started the business, but what was it in that personal, that journey of self-discovery that made you think, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to go and get certified, and I need to become a life coach?
Well, I was always planning girls' retreats on weekends just with friends and everything. And I pulled up I was hiking in Pretty River in Collingwood area with some friends on my birthday. And we pulled up, and a whole bunch of cars pulled in, and there was women coming out of it. And I'm saying, what's going on here, And they said, oh, we're on a women's retreat. And I thought, light bulb moment, Kev. This is what I truly want to do, is have women's retreats. And so I said, I wanted to add more value to that, and that's what I decided to become the coach, to add more value to the retreats, and that's what I do.
Oh, okay. Now, why... What is it that's so special about your retreats? And we'll talk more about your retreats, but what do you do different than, say, other retreats?
Well, I pride myself in making sure that there's a learning experience in it through a couple workshops. Yeah. I really want people to just take the time for themselves, be vulnerable, and have fun. It's about the magic that happens with the sisterhood that is gained at these retreats. Yeah. And I've had retreats where there's 26 women from the ages of 29 to 92.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and we learn, and there's some crying, there's laughter, there's singing, dancing. We do arts and crafts. We do a lot of fun things, but the most important is the fellowship that is created.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. I love it. Yeah, I've been on a few retreats, and I can definitely relate to that, because any retreat I've been on, it, as you said, that sisterhood, it creates that connection, and you get vulnerable.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for people to be vulnerable, in a business sense? What is it that vulnerability creates?
Well, when it comes to business, we feel that we have to put on that face and be perfect in everything that we do, knowing that we're not, right? Yeah. We don't know what we don't know. Yeah. And a lot of us want to learn what we don't know, and we think by showing our weaknesses that we're not good enough. And so this showing your vulnerability of sharing with other women, especially in business, and saying, you know what, I don't know how to do that. Do you know someone who can help me, or can you help me?
Yeah.
It's about asking for help and being vulnerable enough to do that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so when it comes to coaching, why is it so important to have an impactful coach?
Well, any impactful coach will do a few things. First of all, they'll put you on a program to guide you through it, give you the tools, the instruments to help you get through the process. And the process is different for everyone. But I put them through a process where there's a lot of self-discovery, there's homework involved. They have to be ready and willing, first of all, right?
Yeah.
And then secondly, then they have to, an impactful coach will cheer them on, help and celebrate their wins. But most importantly is keep them accountable in their goals and in what they're wanting to do.
I love it. So, okay, back to your retreat. You're doing one in January, I
Yes.
believe. Tell us all about that.
So this is going to be my fourth one at the Niagara Falls Monastery in January 12th to the 14th. It's a three-day, 2-night stay. It's just the energy at this monastery when you walk in. The vibe just changed.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun. It's comfortable, it's casual. You could be yourself. You're just stepping away from your everyday life to really focus on yourself.
Yeah, okay. And so what is, so how many days? You said 3 days?
Yes, 3 days.
So what does, okay, well, tell us what each day would look like. What can someone expect for someone who's never been to a retreat?
Yeah, so we wake up earlier in the morning, 7:30. We'll do some activity like yoga or meditation. Then we will have a home-cooked meal, because the monastery has the cooks right on site. They're
nice.
delicious. And then we will have breakfast. We'll do a workshop in the morning. Then a lot of free time, because there's a labyrinth upstairs where they can do a labyrinth walk on their own.
Oh, nice.
And there's a lot of little nooks and crannies where you could just sit and just read a book for a bit. And then we have another workshop in the afternoon. We have Key from Key's Kitchen, who's going to be sharing some great her knowledge and experience in Ayurvedic practices. So we're really excited about having her there. And some other people who are going to be joining, that's a surprise. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've had Indigenous drummers attend
nice.
the event where they come and entertain us. We've done Zumba, we've done belly dancing, we've done yoga. It's very interactive.
Yeah?
Yes.
And how many people do you expect?
I'm hoping the more the merrier.
Yeah.
So I've had, like I said, from anywhere from 12 to 26 women at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say for, like, first of all, is it open to just anybody, or is it
Yes.
specific? Yeah,
Yeah, it's open to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's open to any age group, any woman who just needs that break from life. And it's in January. I chose January because it's a time for new beginnings.
Yeah.
It's an immersive new beginning where we're going to set some goals, some intentions, where we want to, start the year off right.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, so what would you say to someone who might be a little hesitant?
Well, I like that when they're hesitant, because they're thinking about what to expect. And I just say, come with an open heart, open mind, and just be willing to receive. I've had women who I've never met before attend my retreats. They come from a post that I've done on social media, and those are the ones who, like, it's incredible to see the growth happening in them. And they just go, I didn't know what to expect. I just came, I took a leap of faith. And that's how I would really like to welcome women like that who've never done it before, or who have done another retreat and just want to try something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say it's a really good environment for, like, supporting each other and uplifting each other?
Absolutely.
What about, like, say, the relationships that come out of that? Like, is there, like, a follow-up, continuation? What does that look like?
Absolutely. And this is what I take a lot of pride in, because I've created a sisterhood.
Okay.
And so every month we get together on Zoom, the first Wednesday of the month.
Nice.
And we talk on Zoom. I talk about a subject. For example, in November we talked about sisterhood and friendships and the importance of it.
Yeah.
Previously, we've spoken about gratitude, forgiveness. And then we just have discussion, open discussions for, what it's about, and everyone wants to feel heard and seen.
Yeah.
And so that's where we have a connection. So I have a sisterhood that, women from New York, Panama, Florida, all over call in to the Zoom call.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
So for someone who's like business strategy wise, someone who wants to start something like that, a retreat, or just, someone who wants to start a business, what would you say has been your best strategy that's helped you succeed?
Collaboration.
Oh, okay.
Collaboration has been a big success for me because, like I said, we don't know what we don't know. So it's about connecting with women and any other business people who have been successful in what they're doing. Don't try and invent the wheel.
Yes.
It's already been done. So whatever you're thinking about, it's been done.
Yeah.
It's just about finding the person who's successful at it and getting them to mentor you or to kind of follow what they're doing that's successful and put in your personal, authentic twist to it.
Okay, good. So looking ahead, what do you have coming up or going on in your business besides the retreat?
Well, I also do something called Pitch a Friend, which
Okay.
is a lot of fun. I started this in February of this year.
Yeah.
It's a franchise that's been available since April 2022, and it started by a girl named Melissa in Philadelphia who was working at a brewery and was trying to get people back into the breweries during COVID.
Oh,
and it's a
okay.
singles mix and mingle
Yeah.
where friends pitch their single friend to the crowd in a
Okay.
PowerPoint presentation and in hopes that they make a connection.
That's funny.
It's so much fun, Judith. You have to come to one.
Oh, my
The next
goodness.
one is December 11th.
Okay.
And it's at Stack Marketplace, Blue Moon Brewery, and it starts at 7 p.m. And so you submit a pitch online,
Yeah.
and then it's free to attend. So anyone
Okay.
can come, but when you submit a pitch, you're pitching your friend, they send me the slideshows and they just go on stage. And the last one at Stacked was, I don't know, about 150 people.
That is hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
good. So you said it was started by another lady. Is it like a
Franchise. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
nice.
franchise. Yeah. So there's now
okay.
60 worldwide.
Oh, 60.
Yeah. So when I saw it in February online, I actually started researching in November, and Toronto wasn't on there yet. So all kinds of cities all over the world where there's a Toronto's on. So I applied, and they had said that they had about, 10 or 15 applications already.
Yeah.
And they chose me to do the GTA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
See, that just shows when you just put yourself out there, you just try.
That's right.
And you just never know what can happen. And
That's right.
Now you've been doing this since February, and it
Yes.
sounds like it's actually a lot of fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, my
it's seeing
goodness.
it's a celebration of friendship. Seeing
Yeah.
friends boast up their friend
Yeah.
is just so fun.
Oh,
so
my
fun.
goodness.
And very interactive.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like it would be.
Yeah.
So, so as far as because you're obviously resourceful, how else have you been resourceful?
Well, I host, events also. So
Mm-hmm.
one of my pride events is the International Women's Day Conference every March.
Oh, okay.
Every March, this coming year will be my 5th one.
Nice.
And it's a full day of women coming together, celebrating women empowerment and diversity.
Yeah.
And this day includes speakers, we have vendors, we have a fashion show,
Yeah.
and some kind of interactive activity. We've done line dancing with Cheating Hearts.
Nice.
We've done belly dancing, yoga, sound bowl healing, you name it. It's a full day where people come in their leggings and a t-shirt, very comfortable, and really interact.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. It's great. Sounds like you got a lot of great stuff going on in your business.
Thank
and thanks for coming on and sharing it with us.
Thank you, Judith, so much for having me.
Yes, it's been great. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on another episode of At the Heart of Business.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Michaela. I'm so happy to have these prosthetic legs. I wear them every day so I can do all the things I love to do. I like to hike, skate, and do gymnastics. Because of your donations,